Alright, the recording started, so that's good.
Is this gonna be like a clip show? Literally just gonna be me every
Audio
like
vines.
2 seconds going. Crashed again. Don't worry, I'm already 3 minutes and 42 seconds into listening to the old podcast, so I'm happy.
Audio vibes, yeah.
Okay, so we record. Ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Ring, ding.
So, Bopcast, episode something or other, I don't know.
Or intro. I'm like trying to eat food, just going podcast episode whatever.
Yeah.
It's episode 4.
I guess we should use the intro.
Episode 4, depending on if we actually release the last one before this comes out.
It's lost forever.
No. It should last until we get a certain amount of subscribers, because I still have...
Yeah, they get a free, really rubbish one about Five Nights at Freddy's if they subscribe to us.
Yeah, it's about Five Nights at Freddy's, the second to last Apprentice one, because we still haven't talked about that. That's about it.
It's too late to talk about the last one. That was over a month ago.
The last one in 2014. That's what it was.
It's
quite early. It was quite early for a New Year's special, since it was recorded in November.
Yeah.
And now we're recording in January. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, we have. I'd say I'm busy. I'm just too lazy. Actually, no. I did have, it was Christmas and then it was New Year's, so that happened.
Yeah.
Did that thing happen? The YouTube tip jar?
Yeah.
The YouTube tip jar?
Yeah.
Tip jar thing. Whatever that thing's called.
What's that?
Where you tip YouTubers. Did that actually happen?
I haven't seen any tip jar.
So Google. I don't use YouTube on my computer, so I don't know. I literally used YouTube for the first time on my computer in about a year today. I usually have it on my tablet, but my tablet's dead.
So, something we need to still do is come up with an intro.
I was playing a game, which we'll talk about later because it's really good. We don't need an intro, we've done. We said it's the Bopcast 4, and the third one's lost to time, and we're
proper
skipping.
Intro. Like the Bopcast, we're not the co-optional podcast. What's happened?
Tell me you picked up the... You never edit these things anyway.
Yeah, we did some good stuff in that bit, didn't we? So I'm gonna edit it. I'm actually gonna edit it for once.
Yeah, you're gonna
put fades in it and everything. Fades.
You never edit these things anyway. Cut to new edit because the internet sucks.
One thing I gotta say about editors is anyway.
Yeah, well, I've got a game to talk about.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm glad my tablet's dead because if I mentioned it, I probably would have got on my tablet and started playing it anyway.
My intro. Oh, I was just saying it and then it cut us, so I'm gonna say it again. The Bopcast, we're not the co-optional podcast. Ding.
That's my intro. Being embarrassed that I know you. I'm good. I get to eat nerds.
Don't eat me.
I get to eat rainbow nerds.
Don't eat me.
Are you a rainbow nerd?
No.
Rainbow. Okay, we can talk about this because it's a good subject.
Nerds?
What are your thoughts on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Or like comparing them, or just the fact that it's a horrifying place to be?
No, it was in the two movies. Willy Wonka was the first one, and then Charlie was the second one. I can't remember.
The funny thing is, Tim Burton's one is closer to the original source material.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. What? Okay, right. It's Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka is the first one, and Charlie's... No, okay, I'm going to fight you on this. You say that. Why do you say that? Is it because there's squirrels? Is it because there's squirrels? Because that's the only thing that's more similar, right? And then, freaking Count Dooku's in it. So...
Hold on. Let me get to that. So they decided, because Hollywood, that they
needed to have a backstory.
No, they needed an ending because they didn't want to do a sequel. They just wanted a one-off thing. like the original one did, except that one just sort of cut and planned for the sequel. There is a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the
Yeah.
Great Glass Elevator.
Yeah, I've read it.
So have I.
But it didn't need it. He just said, "Hey, Charlie, you now inherit the thing," and then they go flying around the city, and it's a great end.
But Hollywood needs morals. Morals.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Have you seen
moral.
Transformers?
That's not a children's film. That's a 12.
It's still Hollywood. Thank you.
That's 12.
Oh.
Charlie's a PG.
But yeah.
I'm talking about a 10-year-old film and a 30-year-old film anyway.
I'm talking about it because when the new one came out, they bring out Wonka chocolates.
Oh yeah, they did.
Like Scrumdiddlyumptious, and that's what nerds are. Nerds are Wonka things.
This came out like years after that though.
The Wonka
bars came out at the time. The
No,
Nerds came out long after.
Nerds came out at the time. They were the only ones that stayed around for some reason.
Huh. Maybe people liked them.
I guess they're okay. I would have rather the Scrumdiddlyumptious and stuff.
I like Nerds.
They are quite good. You can still get Gobstoppers as well, like Wonka branded Gobstoppers.
Do they look like the ones from the 70s? That just look.
No, I wish they did.
Those ones look weird. They look like puzzles.
They look like a fusion molecule type deal.
Do you remember that somebody just builds a fusion molecule structure out of just Wonka's Gobstoppers?
Work quite well. They're everlasting, so they obviously have some sort of power hidden inside.
You put them together and it just creates the Higgs boson. What have we done?
But yeah, I'm almost running out, so... So, last episode, the one that's lost to the ends of time, the beginning of time, either one, we talked about random stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it was before Christmas, so what did you get up there? That's what I got up to over Christmas, not being able to talk. What did you get up to over Christmas?
Just the usual stuff. Got presents. It was Christmas. Started playing Rocksmith. Got Alien Isolation. Couldn't get past the tutorial on that. Not because it was difficult, but I turned off the lights and stuck on my new headset, Turtle Beach ones as well. Turned it up to maximum so I couldn't hear anything else. Fell in a hole long before the alien shows up. And just went, nope, done, not playing anymore.
Hold on.
And I haven't picked it up since. Played some Borderlands.
Fair enough.
Got a firework launcher in GTA 5.
Yep. That's the thing. I've not been playing much. I really haven't.
Your heart sounds really excited.
Yeah. I've been playing old games. I didn't get any new games over Christmas, so I got Warhammer. I started doing Warhammer. So I'm a massive nerd. But other than that...
The board game or the many console
the board
games? What's that like? I've never played it myself.
Really fun. Really complicated, but really fun. Like, it's not
like...
overly complicated. It's all just dice rolls. That's all it is, but you just have to roll a lot.
Is it sort of like Risk? You move people around, try to kill other people?
Not really. You have little miniatures, and it's like, imagine D&D with miniatures, right? But imagine it was just the miniatures and there was no role play. It was just a battle.
Hello?
Are you using your mic?
Yes. Goodbye.
Have you got another one?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Why?
I've got to do this. Go.
So that's going to be the edited.
Somebody came in.
Yes, I can tell. So yeah, no, it's really fun. You should come around and play it sometime.
Yeah.
Since I
So I'm just going to ask, because I didn't get to hear explanation. Is it like you build a world and then you move pieces around it?
No. It's individual battles. Each piece is a character. So you have the Space Marines, who are just guys with guns. And you have like Space Marines on bikes, and then there's the Chaos Space Marines, and then there's humans, and
So they don't move around at all?
they're all just they're all miniatures and they all move around, but they move around as in you're playing It's like playing. Um, it's like playing Total War, but smaller scale.
I was curious because basically there was this game I used to have called Heroes. It was like loads of different sci-fi characters, like you had Blade and a bunch of other famous ones who I can't remember.
Mm.
And like you'd build a, sort of like a map for them to wander around on, and you'd have to defeat your opponent's teams using your team.
Yeah. You should come around and play it. It's really good.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
Also, been looking into a lot of board games. I really want to buy board games. Just the problem is there's no one to play them with.
I have the same problem. I got my family into Risk.
Yeah. No. See, I got my brother into some of my brother's friends into D&D, which is a good stretch. But they're off at uni now, so we can't really play board games as such.
I found a D&D website. It's called Roll20.
Yeah, I know. That's what I use.
Ah.
It's really good.
We should meet up on there.
Yeah, we should. We should invite you to my thing and we can play some games. Yeah, it's really good. So that's how I can play with them when they're at uni. But now they're at uni, I can't really play any board games with them.
Yeah.
But I have seen I've basically compiled a list of all these board games I want to buy, and I have a lot of money left over from Christmas and Amazon vouchers and whatnot. And other whatever online websites ever. I don't know. There's Amazon. That's the yeah. So I've got loads of Amazon vouchers and money, so I've been looking into buying games. I want to buy like the classics like Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne and
Yep,
Dominion.
all the classics.
But I also want to get some obscure ones. There's one I want to get called Unspeakable Words,
I see.
which they played on tabletop. Most all of these games they played on tabletop. That's why I know them. But when looking for it, if you look for it on Amazon, there's 4 copies of it, I think, or 3 copies, all above £100. Because for some reason you just can't, like they obviously haven't printed enough, so it's really hard to find. So people have just gone, hey, £200 for a card game. But it's really cool. It's a really cool concept. It's like it's a word game, so it's like Scrabble, but you have cards that are your letters, but what you score, you have to try and roll over that. So it comes with a d20 dice. So if you score a 15, you have to try and roll 15 or over. And if you don't, you lose 1 sanity. And you have 5 sanity, right?
Mm.
And if you lose all your sanity, you're out of the game. And it's first to get to like 100 points. The fun thing about this is that when you get to 1 sanity, spelling doesn't work anymore for you. You're crazy, so you just make up your own word. Quapple. 16 points.
Quapple.
But the funnest thing is, you have to try and make up a definition for whatever that word is. So a quapple, right, is that moment when you're about to cross a road and then a car comes really fast around the corner and you almost get run over. That's a quapple. So for your information, that was a quapple. It's just a really cool idea, but you can't buy it anywhere.
Alright, we're making a campaign right here, right now. Get
What?
quapple into the dictionary.
Quapple, no.
And not as informal, as an actual word. Quapple.
No, not happening. I hate new words being added to the dictionary because most of them aren't real words.
Well, actually, if it's not a real word in the dictionary, they put informal next to it to tell you it's not a real word.
I know, but selfie. Just
That's
kill me.
under informal.
I don't care. Still in the dictionary. But yeah. So I've been playing. I really want to get some other. There's one called Formula D, which is a Formula 1 racing game.
Ah.
And it looks. Go Google this thing. It comes with these little gearboxes. It looks amazing. It's like a dice rolling game, but you choose what gears to go up and down. And then, if you don't stop a certain amount of times in the corners, you lose higher damage, and if you lose all your time and damage, you explode. But it looks really cool. The problem with that is, I don't have anyone to play it with, and it's quite, like...
You have no friends.
Like, that one, I could imagine, like, just playing with my dad or my brother.
Does look cool.
It does. I told you. I was wondering what that banging was that she typing. There's some other ones.
It's got like a D50 there.
Yeah. So yeah, you just a Formula One racing game. You should Google it. It's quite cool. There's another one which is really interesting, and this one is the one reason that made me really go, I wish I had friends to play board games with. I have friends.
I'll be your friend.
No, I have friends. Just none of them live who care about games live close enough, or they just don't care about games, or they care about Call of Duty.
I live like 2 roads away from you.
Yeah, no. Now, when I explain this, you'll understand why. Because you really need at least 4 people.
Yeah.
It's called Fiasco. And it's a storytelling game. And it's all RP and it's all amazing. And so you spend like half an hour just setting up the story. So you all have these sheets of... There's all these sheets of paper. Like, one of them's like items. And it has 6 categories. And in each of them 6 categories is 6 different things. And each of these categories would be a type of item. So, let's say number 2's stolen item, right?
Yeah.
And then in number 2, there's like 1 is like a stolen car. I can hear you typing. It's really weird. Like 1's like a stolen car. So 2-1 is a stolen car, and 2-2 is a gun with some bullets. And 2-3 is a like massive cocaine. And 2-4 is a key to a storage house, and basically you roll loads of these dice at the beginning, and you go around the table taking in turns to pick one of these things using what the dice is. So if you roll a 2, I can go, I'm gonna make an item, pick up the 2 dice and go, I'm gonna make it a number 2, so it's a stolen item, and that's the type of item that's gonna be in the story. And then it gets to your go, and you can either choose to pick up another item or pick another thing of the story, like a character or a place, or you could refine my thing. So you could go, hey, that stolen item is a 3, so that means it's a gun with some bullets. And that means that's in the story now. And so after the half an hour of setting it up, so you start to realise who your characters are going to be. It's like mine might be a leader of a drug cartel who has, like, someone stolen my, like, Cadillac or whatever, and you're, like, this, like, other leader of a mafia boss, or you're just the guy who happens to own the storage thing, and when you wake up one morning you have a Cadillac in it for some reason, and you just go through all these stories, and then like good or bad stuff happens to your character, and then at the end you go through it, and usually people lie, because about halfway through, like it goes in acts. You do like 8 acts in a like 8. You do 2 acts with 8 scenes, and it will be like each player's turn. So each for the first scene, everyone takes 1 turn each, and basically how they do it is they pick the scene and who they're going to talk to. So I, as the drug dude, might go, I'm going to talk to Leon, whatever your character's name is, and I'm going to try and figure out where you hid the Cadillac or whatever, or if you know. And so we have this just a role play conversation, and it either goes well or bad for me. And then I get a white dice or a red dice, depending on if it's gone good or bad. Red dice for bad and white for good. And then I give that dice to someone else. So if it goes well, like if I find out a little bit of information about my Cadillac, I can give the white dice to someone like you or someone else playing. And then at the end of the game, if your character's white dice and red dice are stuff that happens after the story's over. So like if you get a white dice and a red and like 2 red dice at the end, you have 1 good thing happen to you and 2 bad things happen to you. And like there's loads of like rules to happen to it, but on tabletop, the thing I watched, 2 of them died, and one of them lost his legs, basically. So yeah, I just wish I had a lot of, like, it's a thing I might get if I go to uni or something, when I get roommates.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take over here, because you've been talking for about 10 minutes on your own.
I'm surprised the call's held
up. We need like 2 more people on this podcast, just so that people don't get bored of our voices.
I don't care.
But anyway.
We do, because then I can pester them into playing board games with me.
But anyway, so I've actually played 2 other games on my PC recently. I started playing Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
I don't know how to pronounce it anymore.
It's got a H in it.
Yeah. Hearthstone?
Hearth. As in like a fireplace hearth.
Hearth?
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone?
Hearthstone.
Ah, you got there first.
Got it exactly the same time.
Anyway, so yeah, I picked that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's really easy. I'm guessing you did it. You started playing it because it came out on Android. Am I correct?
No, it doesn't work on my phone.
Oh, yeah, phone. You did a goddamn phone. That's why.
Yeah, I'll probably get
Just
it.
assumed you had an Android tablet.
I got a tablet. It works with Amazon, but it works almost with Android. So I'll see if it'll do anything. But besides that, I've also played this really messed up game. It's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Have you heard of it?
No, it sounds like what's that YouTube thing called? Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. It's messed up, but not in the same way.
Okay.
So basically, it's based off this short story with the same title, where basically this robot took over the world. It was one of the first stories that did this. Robot takes over the world, and it leaves 5 humans alive to torture for eternity, because basically it becomes sentient and connects. Everybody in the world has their own version of this computer, and it's called AM, and it connects itself together and ends up killing everybody because it hates humanity for all the stuff they do. They created it to destroy each other, basically.
Okay.
So it leaves these 5 alive to torture them for its own amusement, because what they gave it was creativity. That's how it became sentient. And basically, these 5 people are just being tortured really horribly. Like this one particular one called Benny, he's morphed him into a half ape, half human. He's like scarred his face horribly, morphed it so that it looks like an ape, crippled his legs so that he can only walk, driven him insane. He's got another one called Nimdok. He took away the guy's real name and made him forget it completely. There's a woman. He turned her into a slut and then made her unable to orgasm, which is not as bad.
Okay.
There's one more
I
guy.
fear for your safety.
It was a short story, so it didn't develop the 2 other guys, but the main character, he's been affected the least by it, so they all hate him. But then one day they travel all across the Antarctic for some canned peaches, because this machine can keep them alive and sustain their life without feeding them for years if it wants to. They've been alive for 900 years at this point without aging. Don't ask me how that works. It was a short story, so they didn't explain it. But basically, this bit is the brilliant climax. Basically, so they go all the way across the Antarctic to get these peaches, and they're canned peaches. And when they get there, they find out they've travelled for about a year to get these peaches. By the way, they get there and find out that
Wait. I was gonna say, let me guess. There's nothing to open the can with.
Yeah, there's no can opener.
Such a lazy piece of storytelling. I think I've heard that in so many stuff.
Benny, the ape man, ends up going crazy and starts eating Nimdok's face.
Okay.
And then the main character Tim manages to kill them all, but he's left alive because it doesn't keep them immortal. It just stops them from dying. And he caught the machine off guard, so he was able to kill them all. But he didn't have enough time to kill himself. So the machine then got really, really, really angry and just turns him into this big slug creature thing. He's got no bones anymore. All he's got is his eyes. He has no mouth anymore, and he's been stuck in a room covered in reflective surfaces. His mind is completely intact, and the last line is just, "I have no mouth and I must scream."
Okay.
It's very messed up. The game is even more messed up. I played as Benny because you get to choose out the 5 characters who you play as, and he gets sent to this like native world where there's sacrifices taking place for AM, the machine. And when this woman who feeds him because he can't eat the fruit without a woman digesting it and then regurgitating it like a bird into his mouth, she gets sacrificed, and he gets 2 options of what to say to the chief. Can I watch, and can I eat her?
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. But I want to go back to like your role-playing thing quickly, because brings me to what I wanted to talk about this time.
Okay, wait. Can I talk about one more game? And then we'll go back to it.
Alright.
Speaking of Hearthstone on Android, right? Thank you again. You might have heard it from the thing that is legally not distinct to this podcast that we are not part of, and not the co-optional podcast. Yeah, it was on the. I finally got around to I was hoping to restart watching co-optional podcast because Margaret Crone's on it.
Oh, yeah.
She's part of. She does. She's with It Made JP in a roleplay. He does a thing called roleplay on Roll20. That's why I know it's a thing because I used to watch him. And
You know it's moved to Total Biscuit now, don't you?
what?
It's moved to Total Biscuit's channel now.
What?
Co-optional.
Oh yeah, I know.
Alright. Just wanted to check
But-
before that was what you said.
I mean, no. I just said it wasn't. We're not part of the co-optional podcast. And that I need to read. I like haven't watched it in so long. I was like, I'll get around to watching it. And then he talked about a game called Hero Forge.
Yeah.
Which Dodger apparently TV mentioned it, and Dodger started playing it, and she was saying how good it was, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a go. And then next thing I know, my tablet's dead because it's so good. It's like it's kind of like a match 3 thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like sort of like that. But
Is it like Puzzle League where you have to attack your opponent by matching 3?
no. It's not like what was it called? Like 77777. That game. That was apparently really good. Just had the worst name in the world. No, it's not. You start off with a blank slate, right? And then you can tap down copper ore.
Yeah.
And you're a blacksmith, and you're forging
Suddenly
weapons.
you're a blacksmith.
You're forging weapons and stuff for heroes that walk in. Like there's either knights who will just buy anything off you, like no matter what it is, and the better it is, the more they'll pay. And then heroes who come in with specific things, if they want a copper axe or a copper sword, but if you make it with better items, they give you more money. And basically you like tap down 2 copper, and then you can drag in a template like a plate to make shields or a sword blade, and with 2 copper that will make a sword blade, a copper sword blade, and then you combine the copper sword blade and some other stuff to make a sword. Like 2 copper sword blades and a hilt makes a sword. And then you can make an axe and a hammer and all these other stuff. And then if you match 3 copper, you make iron. And if you match 3 iron, you make silver, and you match 3 silver, you make gold. I think there's another thing about that, but I've never got to it. And then you just have to try and match these things up and make weapons and stuff for people and see how far you can get. And I got really annoyed because you only have 2 life. It's really hard. And you upgrade, and I'm like, why? What's the point of upgrading? Because I'm just going to die and it's going to ask me to restart. So I upgraded a few times, died, restarted, and then it saves your upgrades, and I love that. Like it just saves your items and stuff. Like it just basically you start off at the lower levels again.
No.
Actually, scratch that.
Basically, it makes it easier to progress.
No, that keeps your items, but I think it might keep your money, which you use to buy items. There's hardly any microtransactions in it, which is great. You can buy more gold, and you can buy more gems, like the gems you use to level up. But to be honest, you don't need to. And it's really fun and really hard, and you can't get rid of anything off your board unless you use it. So if you build a sword by accident, you have to sell that to someone, or it's just going to be on there forever. So I love the knights, because the knights just buy anything. So you have like, oh, I've made this axe by like this golden axe by accident. No one wants it.
Just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna make the best sword ever. How did I make an axe? Light comes in. Here, you want this? Sure.
See, there's some really cool things with it. Like, you get an upgrade to get an enchantment square. So on the board, at each round, randomly a square on the board is purple, and anything you put in that square gets 1 enchantment cost. So you put copper ore in it, and then use that copper ore to build a shield hilt, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, a sword hilt. That sword hilt will now have 1 enchantment. And so if you plan it out, you can make like iron ore that's got like 2 stuff on it, and then if you do that twice, you have like and make a sword blade. You have a sword blade with 4 enchant in it on it, and you can just potentially build up. And then you can also do you can make gems. So if you do 2 copper into a gem holder, you make a like small red ruby, and then like a slightly bigger blue thing, and like higher and higher, the different minerals you put in, and then you can add that just next. If you put that next to a normal sword layout, it will just add it to the sword, and it'll mean it'll sell for more. But occasionally you'll get heroes and stuff who want I want a copper sword with 1 gem and 2 enchants, so you have to try and plan that out.
Yeah.
And then my personal favourite is every now and again you get special heroes that come along. Now one of them's a guy who he wants you to make a specific thing. I don't know. I've only ever had him once, so I don't know if it changes. But he wanted me to make a shield, and you can make any shield for him, be it copper with enchants or just copper. And I was bored, and I needed to get rid of some space, and I already had a copper shield on, so I just gave him the copper shield. And then it goes to like a little map screen, like in an RPG, and you watch him like fight rats. And then it shows how much damage he's taking, and then he dies. And I'm guessing, like, if you make your shield better, he will get to the end, and he'll get some treasure, and he'll give to you.
Oh, your fault, Miles. How do you feel killing a man just because you
Oh no,
like
he's still
his
alive.
shield?
He comes back all battered and stuff. And then another one is hobbits. There's 3 hobbits who come along, right?
Yeah.
And they want hot dogs. They want sausages, right?
It sounds like a 4
They have like 8 raw sausages, and they need them cooked.
Are
And
you
so
sure they really had hot dogs and not just like they actually had like Elvish bread and 4 kids stubbed it as, hey, would you like these hot dogs?
So to do that, every time you forge something, so if you build each thing you build is made of 3 pieces. So like be it 3 sword hilts, it's like these weird claw things like Wolverine, sword blades, and then each time you do that, one of the squares gets filled up by the weapon, one of the squares gets filled up by a mineral. It's always copper, but you can upgrade that. And then the other square is just red, and they're all red. Like all 3 of these things are red. And that you can't use that square. So on the bigger levels, you have to try and work your way around these red squares that you can't play on. But these like hobbits come along, and you just have to forge weapons for them, and they use the red squares to cook their sausages. And it's kind of annoying because to give them like 8 sausages, you need to forge at least 4 stuff. So you end up with like 4, like 2 axes. There's a shovel over there, a shield over there, and you're just there like, well, I've got to sell these weapons somehow. So the next time you're kind of hoping that someone wants a weird copper shovel and a
I'm just
half
imagining
iron.
now a completely different scenario where you're just like, hey hobbits, you want some free stuff? You just gotta go up there on those red squares and get something for me. Hey, don't you get those sausages? Those are my sausages. Get off those sausages. Ah, yeah.
It is quite cool. It's a really fun game. You should try it out. Hero Forge 2's the better one.
Another reason why we need a video chat rather than just sound is because I just keep looking at this microphone, nodding at it like it's you.
Well, I just eat food constantly when we're recording these, so.
It's alright, we'll just stick the label on the camera. Wish for sponsors.
So the RPGs, right? And
Yeah.
that segue to whatever you were doing, all of that.
Oh yeah. So basically, like what you were saying there, reminded me of what I wanted to talk about here. Basically, what I want to do is an improv thing with you, like an improv show. I started watching this show on BBC. Well, I started listening to it. BBC Radio 4. It was called The Masterson's Inheritance, and it is a very funny improv show. Just made me think, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, an improv show, like not the podcast, like a separate thing.
Well, before we go on to this, right, we can plan this out. Right, I'm gonna bring up
Plan out an improv show.
This isn't for our viewers, because the viewers I don't think actually know anything about this. It's for me.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to sort out my chair. I'm all like scuffed up now. Okay. So this is a question for me. I
Yeah.
can probably edit this out. What the fuck happened with the anime thing?
That's still going on. That's still happening.
Is it? Because
Yeah,
I've heard
Michael's been drawing.
nothing.
His brother Hex has been drawing too.
I
Nobody's been talking lately because Michael hasn't been talking, basically.
was going to like send a message to find out what was happening. I was thinking of like because I wanted to do that sci-fi thing, and I was thinking I had a good idea for that, but now I can't remember what it was. I had a really good idea for it. It was one of them ideas that was like, that's really good. And I was going to we had someone who said he draws sci-fi, so I was going to get entered it. But you
What
know.
the hell was that?
Was what?
You're in, bing.
Oh, was it? I like put down my iPod, so it's probably not making a weird noise. I didn't hear it, so I guess it was that. It's the only thing I was doing.
It freaked me out. Just like, Ming, what the hell?
Yeah, so, yeah, that needs to happen.
So you're answering an improv show?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I want to do more stuff. I need stuff to do, because I'm not in college at the minute. And
At the end of this, we can test it out if you want.
we could, yeah, I'm free. I'm not actually free for very long after this, so I lie.
Yeah, like make a mini one.
Maybe. See what time we've got after we talk for longer, because...
So, the last thing that I really want to talk about is something that I watched finally.
Ooh. Is it, The Secret Life of, What are me?
No, actually, it's Frozen.
Oh.
No, it's Secret Life of Me.
Can I veto this subject since it's Frozen, because I actually watched that too?
It's not Frozen. I hate that film.
Yep, same.
So
Done. We talked about it. Shut up. Okay, yeah, Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
So yeah, after I watched it, I felt it was a bit like overrated from what I'd heard from other people.
I told you, don't go into it expecting it to be good, because it's not good, unless you think it's going to be awful, like I did.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I watched it on a plane expecting
standards.
it to be awful, and it was actually surprisingly okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty good film, and compared to its original, I read up on the original. I haven't seen the original version from the 1940s.
He's just a liar.
Yeah, the original version is just a man trying to have an affair.
Yep, and he's just a liar, and saying how amazing he is.
Yeah. So I like what they did with Walter. It's not the same film at all.
Oh, nowhere.
It's the same title, same main character, different scenario altogether. And I like they did that.
Yeah.
Like that bit where it's just like, it's just a dolphin, it keeps sharks away. You should bring it closer to you. Alright, little dolphin, come here. That's a shark.
You jump to the boat.
Oh, wrong boat. There's one on the other side.
Yeah, it was quite a good movie. Surprisingly so.
And I guess the twist, right? That's at the end. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet.
Oh yeah.
It's an alright twist, but if you're clever like me, you guess it pretty much right at the beginning.
I had just like deja vu. I think we've actually talked about this in the last podcast.
No, we talked about it briefly on Facebook.
Ah, that was it. I just remember you saying that you got the twist,
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure. I wasn't surprised because I'd got it as well.
Well, the secondary twist, which I won't say for the sake of fans, if any exist. I mean, those 20 views on the other three are just me refreshing it to check things. So nobody even watches these.
Oh.
Oh well.
I don't think it adds views. I'm just saying.
No, it does. It does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wow. So if I had the inclination, I could just, repeat.
Yeah, guess a few 100,000.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not in college for a while.
Just stick on like a click bot.
I want to know the buggers who stole our thing.
Just type in Bopcast
I know.
into Google.
I know, but I want to know who they are. They stole that idea, and people who go, oh, but your first thing was uploaded like months after they did it. We came up with this idea. We have.
Yeah, our first thing was actually
Our,
uploaded like a year before we started.
our YouTube channel is as old as the idea. So, yeah. We are episode 5, by the way. I went to go check our views.
Huh?
We are episode 5. Because we forgot about the D&D podcast.
I didn't forget about it. I just couldn't be bothered to count.
No, I didn't forget about it. I just worked out how many we'd done, like how many I remember doing, and I just kind of skipped over the D&D one because it was so long ago.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever continue that, do you?
Nope. Because if we ever do D&D again, we're doing it on Roll20 and actually recording it properly and starting up a new thing.
Yeah.
So. I have a lot to talk about. If that's what you're, are we done with Multimity? Is that?
For the amount of build-up we put to it, I think we are done.
Yeah.
But
it was just to go get you to watch it because it's just a surprisingly okay movie.
I just have like one more topic. Now that is the Coxing.
I've got 3. I got 3. Right. So.
Oh God, no! I've got 2.
Possibly
the second
4.
One's really quick.
I got 3, but possibly 4. I'll go through 2 of mine kind of linked together. So I'll go to 1 first, right?
Okay. Right, I'll go first because I've got less.
No. I'll do one of mine. You do yours, and then I'll do mine. I'll do my one, okay? And then.
All right.
So, have you ever seen? I don't know if I have a weird feeling that I talked about this before, but I don't know if I did it to you. Have you seen the movie Argo?
I don't think so. No, that's the Ben Affleck film, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's an good movie, to quote Barbara Dunkelman. Somebody say it's good. Do you know what it's about?
No, I haven't even read the description on Sky.
Okay. Because of that, go watch it. I'll explain it to you. This is a thing, right? I made up, right, a word for this because I do it so much. I called it a wiki spree. I've named it wiki spree. That's my name for it. It's probably a thing on the internet somewhere, where you get interested in a certain subject, and just Google everything about it.
Wiki.
So it's probably not a thing. So for example, recently on Wiki Spree there was a Wiki Spree on.
Oh, spree! I put spray.
Spree. Wiki Spreedia is apparently a thing. Urban Dictionary, a Wiki Spree. When you go to Wikipedia for some reason, end up clicking one link, then another, until hours have passed you, and you have no idea what you first came to read about. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I've done that.
But usually to me it's like when I really get into one certain subject, and I wanted to watch Argo because I heard it was a good movie and I didn't know what it was about. And then, I randomly started watching stuff, and I got interested in, kind of like old sorts of terrorism. Starting with, because I love, I'm English, and so I love the SAS. And so I obviously know about, what's it called? The
Obviously you
freaking,
should know, but
I just blanked. I don't know.
I mean, I know, but I should test you to make sure
I literally couldn't think of the name for the main country that's in Argo. Okay, the Iranian embassy siege. You know, you've heard of this, probably.
Of course.
That's a no. It was. Right, I wouldn't blame you. It did happen in the 80s. It happened in 1980, but it is a big kind of British thing to do with the SAS because it was like one of the main. It's like one of the only televised things the SAS have ever done, and it was really cool. But they did it was like just showed how the SAS was good. But in the 80s there was a lot of terrorist stuff, and
So much has changed
In 30th of
30
April.
years.
Yeah, I know, history repeating itself. In the 30th of April, these dudes took over the Iranian embassy in London, right? So big deal. This is in the heart of London, and some terrorists have got hostages. And after days and days, on the 5th of May, the SAS burst in and shot the terrorists. I think I don't know. I think one or two of the casualties died. One or two hostages died. One before the assault and one during the assault. So they did really well. They saved so many hostages.
Yep. Dead people equals yay.
One hostage was killed during the assault, which, as an assault goes, is amazing. Because a terrorist, they hear gun noises upstairs, they'll just kill people. The SAS managed to do it with no one dying but one person. It's quite impressive. And they managed to capture one of the terrorists, which is also really. But yeah, so basically, because there was loads of stuff going on, because it was the Iran war and everything, these guys, so the SAS went in. So I got interested in that and went through it all, because the Wikipedia page is massive. Because it goes through detailed, day 6, May 5th. It says the terrorist leader woke lock at dawn, convinced that intruder was in the embassy. and it's so detailed, and I got into that, and then it leads on to loads of other stuff
I think everyone wants to know though, Mouses, what did you finish on?
No, it wasn't anything like that. This thing I finished on Argo. This is where it leads to.
Oh.
So I went through that, and there was also I watched loads of, there was a few plane hijackings that the SAS were involved in that I got to, and then I went to there was the Munich terrorist thing.
Yep, terrorist thing.
Munich massacre, which is probably the worst hostage thing ever to happen, and it was in the Olympics. So in 1972, the Summer Olympics, 8 years before the hostage embassy thing, during the Olympics in Munich, loads of terrorists captured, took the Israeli athletes and stuff and coaches hostage, and it was awful because the police tried to ambush them, and all of the hostages died, and they hardly killed, 3 of the terrorists still managed to escape, and it was really bad for the German government, because they kind of really failed. And that's when the Germans created their special they basically created the secret police, they created their own SAS specifically to deal with terrorist stuff.
I think it's time to pull out this conversation, just because when it comes to Israelis, I'm not too happy with them, so I'm more of a good on you for killing them.
Oh no, shut up. Right.
They started genocide in Palestine 2 years after World War II ended. 2 years after their own genocide ended.
Yes, but is this a reason to kill 6 Israeli sports coaches and 5 Israeli athletes?
Well,
No.
the thing is, Israeli children are brought up to believe Palestinians are pure evil.
They are, but that's an issue for another thing, right? These dudes didn't do it because Israel is evil. They did it because they wanted to get terrorists out of jail. So you can't support violence over violence. That's not a thing. Unless the violence specifically like World War II was to go and stop violence. If these terrorists started a war against Israel, then maybe you could hate them a little less. If they just went to Germany and killed some people who were totally not involved with the government or anything, just because they hate Israelis, then they're racist. That's racism. Anyway.
Also, now I'm a racist now.
So they tried to get some
Kill a couple of people and suddenly you're racist.
Tried to get other terrorists out of jail who were who did a plane hacking and stuff. And then this led me on to the Iranian hostage crisis, which was a big deal. And you've heard of the Iranian hostage crisis? You must have, at least once.
Yeah.
Basically, it's really horrible, right? This is okay.
Isn't this the one we were just talking about, the SAS one?
No, no. That was the
What was that one called?
that was the Iranian embassy in London. This was the Iranian hostage crisis in Iran, Iran, with America. Oh, it was the American embassy in Iran, in like the capital. Basically, granted, this is one of the things where we screwed them over. Like, as the West, we screwed them
I
over.
ain't taking responsibility.
No, exactly. Me personally, but you have to admit that white Westerners screwed them over. We basically went, hey, here's your prince, and basically gave them a prince who was basically from the West. He was like, went to college in Cambridge, and all of his money came from America, like oil companies.
So they did a Prince of Wales.
And he didn't care about poverty. His wife bathed in milk from goats, and was they were like, imagine what crazy pharaohs did. That's what they did, right? But in the 80s, and so
was it a Rothschild?
So
if it was a Rothschild, it all makes sense.
No, but so in the 80s, so obviously Iran, because they had loads of poverty and stuff, had a revolution, and as the West, we didn't like that. Hence the Iranian War, because we were like, hey, let's help our guy who we put in power. And so
oh, is this like Saddam Hussein, this guy?
Yeah, this is how all this happened. That's how
I'm following you now.
That's how all of the terrorist organisations we've been going to war with for the past 20 years, all of their guns are American, because America went, hey, we want Iran back, hey, a terrorist organisation to help us fight, and give them loads of weapons, and then realised 5 years later, after making peace with Iran, oh shit, we made peace with Iran, we really should stop these terrorist organisations.
There's something I want to talk about there.
By giving more guns to other terrorist organisations.
Yeah.
Just
so basically, back in the punk movement around this time, but you know how you sometimes get in like independent movements infiltrators to try and manipulate the people in those movements who are like, yeah, screw the government. They had an infiltrator band, and they made a song called Guns for the Afghan Rebels.
Yeah.
Do you really think that song would play now?
You watch, I can't remember what James Bond it is. There's a James Bond where he's in Afghanistan.
It's the same with Rambo 3.
Fighting the Russians with the Taliban.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally with the Taliban, and they're using like the Russian guns they've stolen and stuff. And now the AKs and stuff that they still have from when they fought Russia with us, that we technically weren't involved with, because Russia, it was the Cold War and blah.
Yeah, Rambo did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Rambo did exactly the same. It's just 5 years later we realised we were wrong, apparently. But this is true.
Number one chart this year.
Granted, we screwed them over. Rebels. But I feel sorry for these people. These people, right? You said about you couldn't care less about the Iranians. Israelis. Sorry. This is where you don't take it out on people from that country, because that's just racist. So Iran had a riot, and loads of people, students, started a march and decided to take over the American embassy. Right?
Yeah.
So American embassy couldn't fight back. They had like guards and stuff, but the guards had to just use blank bullets and just rubber bullets and stuff, and couldn't do anything because they couldn't start a war. And so they had to use tear gas and stuff and try and do it, while everyone inside was burning the documents and like shredding all the documents. And then basically just captured. They took over the thing and took loads of people as hostage. And I'm going to try and find the actual amount of people. They took 52 American diplomats and citizens, right?
Yeah.
And they held them hostage for 44 days.
Wow.
So that's a year, 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days. So
That's
They went.
just,
They went from November the 4th, 79, and then they came out in 81. So they missed the 80. No, like a whole of the everything from then to then. They missed. So they came out 2 years behind the world, and they're like, well, we're screwed. We don't know what the hell has happened. But part of this, right, and this is the best name for anything ever, right? There was a thing called the Canadian Caper.
Yeah, hold on. So, he was stuck for how long?
444 days. So just over a year and 2 months.
Alright, just hold on. Hold on.
So if this was to happen now, like on the day of the recording, is that what you're trying to look up?
No.
So, to put that into perspective,
Don't clap that. That's all. I'd like to clarify quickly. I do know there's like 10% of the Israelis are good people. There was one who made a book called The Soldier's Son.
there's we can go on to another movie that's got some some
Oh yeah, this is
some
like
other.
Whispering.
Yeah, it is.
I completely forgot
There's
about
another one
Argo.
about no, I haven't. I'm about to go back to it. To put that into perspective, time of recording is the 16th of the 1st, 2015. So 16th of January. If we were to be captured now and released 444 days now, it would be April the 4th, 2016. It's a long time. So, base.
Would the new Hideo Kojima game have come out by then?
Probably not.
Silent
Put this in
Hills
perspective,
comes
Star
out
Wars would just about
2016.
came out, and Sherlock will
Yep.
come out.
So we wouldn't have to wait.
So-
No, but we'd have
so-
everything would take longer because we'd be sitting
Thanks
in
to
a
the
room.
Canadians and some other people, they came up with this idea called the Canadian Caper. So there was a bunch of people who were in a different building in the embassy courtyard. Basically, it was like an embassy courtyard. There was a main building and a slightly off building, right?
Yeah.
And 6 of these American office workers, essentially diplomats, who basically worked there, giving passports and stuff. And that was basically their job. 6 of these were in this building, right? And they saw the people climbing over the wall and stuff and breaking in, and the guards like firing and chucking tear gas and stuff. And they were the only ones who had a chance to escape. And so they escaped, and some of them went to like the English embassy, some of them went to like the Canadian one, and then eventually they all got moved to the Canadian, the leader of the Canadian embassy's house, like his actual house in Iran, and they hid out there. And to get them out, they came up with this idea of making a film. So this FBI dude who got given the job, along with Canadians, like the Canadian Special Forces and stuff, got together with like a couple of big film producers, told them what was going on, because they couldn't say this to the world, because if they said it to the world, Iran would find out and hunt them down and kill them. And so between the FBI and like the Canadian Special Forces and stuff, and these like 2 movie producers, they came up with this idea for a movie called Argo, which was going to be a kind of Middle Eastern themed sci-fi movie. And they came up with this idea, and they got concept artists, and they did everything to make this movie real. Like they even started casting for it, and they had like a massive production party. Like every movie in Hollywood has, when a movie's announced, they have a party to just kind of promote it. And so they had one of them.
Yeah.
So all of these actors and producers and directors in Hollywood genuinely thought this movie was going on. Everyone around the world heard this movie was going to be made, called Argo. And so they sent the FBI guy over with these cameras and stuff, and he gave all of these 6 diplomats fake Canadian passports, because Canada was still fine kind of with Iran. Like as a Canadian, you could still get out of the country without much trouble. And then they like went around pretending to be a camera crew for like a day, and then the next day they flew out, and it was like a massive like cover up, like this movie's real but not actually real, and everyone thought it was real. And so years later, in 2012, they actually made a film called Argo based on this story, and it is about how this FBI guy goes in and plans it all out and all the troubles they had. And it's a really good movie. And the casting is fantastic. At the end, in the credits, it shows you side by side pictures of the actor who played the character called whatever, like Stephen Phillips, and the actual picture of Stephen Phillips, the guy at the time, like his profile picture, and they look exactly the same. It's mental. Like, they look really close, like similar, and it's really good at casting, and the film's really good. The only issue I've heard from genuinely people who are involved with it, like the FBI guy who's the main person in the movie, complained about the movie for one thing. He said that Canada wasn't like given enough credit because it basically looks like America did all the work, and he's like, no, Canada did like 98% of the work. I just happened to be the guy to go get them. And he also said that like there's a line in it where they basically say that they could only ever go to the Canadian embassy's house because other embassies like the British and the other embassies, like other Western embassies, won't let them in. And he's like, well, that's not true. Like two of them hid out in the English embassy for like 2 weeks before they went to the, like. But and then he's like, other than that, it's a good movie. But what I find really weird, right? And this is the thing that does happen. He got an award. He got a medal. In when it happened, after it happened, once they got them out, they gave him the medal. But it was a top secret mission, no one's allowed to know about. So he didn't get it. Like they gave it to him, and they had a ceremony.
No ceremony.
But it was only him and the guy awarding him the medal, and like a few other people who couldn't talk about it. And
So did he get like a proper ceremony?
He got a ceremony of like 5 people, got given the medal, and then had to give it back.
No, I mean in the future.
No, he got given it. He got given it like in the past 5 years, I think. I remember googling it. He was like in like 2009. He got given it because it was like however many years after it happened is when the documents got released, and so he got his medal back. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's got loads of good actors in it, and the movie's really good. I watched it on a plane, like 98% of these movies, but it's good.
Cool. So yeah, I guess I'll start with the quick comment
Do it.
then. It's just like a quick little joke thing, but we can talk about it afterwards. I noticed in video games that basically always says at the bottom now in trailers, not actual game footage. I'm guessing you've noticed that too.
What? That
Like Destiny and Far Cry, all of them, they just go not actual game footage.
Yeah, that's been happening for years.
Yep. You couldn't get away with that anywhere else, could you? Can I have like,
yes, good. It's called trailers that have stuff in the movie that don't actually have them in the movie.
Wait. Let me finish. So you can like have like, let's say, I'm really annoyed at Charlie Hebdo because it ruins this joke a little bit, but basically, a Jew and a Muslim hugging each other, and then just put at the bottom of it, not actual war footage, and then go, enroll now. Could you?
No,
You
because
can,
that's stupid.
You can like open a packet of crisps, have dreams fly out, not actual crisp footage.
No, that's stupid.
You can't get away with any of that. I just thought that was important.
Okay.
So, like I said, it was just like a quick joke. I've got another topic if you want to.
Yeah.
So basically, I understand how Patreon works before I say this. But basically, Jesse Cox and Mark Crendall, they do their podcast, Cox and Crendall Show.
Yeah. In the morning.
Yeah. And before, if they disappeared for several months, it was alright because they were doing it for free. But now they get paid on Patreon to do these weekly. And sometimes they'll disappear for a few weeks. It's only happened like once, I think, since they started Patreon. But it has happened. and they act like nothing's changed. But I feel like they should be paying a bit more respect to people paying them to do it.
Yeah, but isn't it a thing with Patreon that you pay per video? Isn't that a thing you do? Or is it just a thing you can do and you do the other thing as well?
No, I understand how it works, pay per video.
Yeah.
But I just still feel like if you're being paid to do it, and you
well, you're paying for what you get. If you paid £10, you get 2 episodes. Well, yeah. There's production issues and stuff. I just feel like imagine trying to do this. We haven't done it since since goddamn November. Like we can't. If we got paid, we'd probably do it more. But
hold on.
You can't say they haven't got stuff to do.
Just hold on a second. We did it weekly for a few weeks. We're still trying to do it weekly. Well, I am. I don't know about you. The only reason we haven't done it weekly is because we've been on different schedules. But yeah, when we were doing it weekly, I was doing even more than them. They didn't edit it in the slightest. I do at least a little bit of cutting. I listen through the entire thing and I draw a separate thing for every individual one, which takes me like 2 hours.
I'm starting to get Skype issues, by the way. I don't know. Hopefully this is. It just seems to be on my. It's just on my side, so the recording shouldn't be screwed up. But just saying, if I don't answer a question or something.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I have sort of 4 subjects. One of them's really short. 2 of them kind of go together. Because we were talking about Cosmic Rendo, I'm going to do the short one. Did you know that McRib is coming to England?
I told you that.
I don't know if you got me. You kind of cut out, so...
Yeah,
Hello?
I told you that. Hello? Can you hear me?
What we need is that picture of that girl and that teddy bear that comes on the BBC when there's technical difficulties.
Is there anybody out there? Can you hear me, Miles?
Hello? Sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got any of the words I said.
Yeah, I was the one who told you about the McRib coming to England.
Did you? I missed that. The only reason I know is because I walked past a billboard today.
I went, McRib is coming to Luton. And you were like, what? And I said, the McDonald's McRib is coming to Luton. Oh, I thought you meant MC Rib.
Oh yeah, because you typed M and then space C space rib. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's because of auto type and I was...
MC rib. Okay, I remember that now, but I didn't remember. That's coming to this. Okay, I'm going to bring up 2 things. One's a movie, one's two a TV show. I'm going to quickly do the movie because it's talking about we were talking about Israel and stuff and the World War II. Have you seen the movie?
Quick question. You seen Steins?
No. Oh my god, I've been meaning to watch it.
It is very good.
We talked about the movie Defiance, right? Before on this podcast.
We said we were going to, and then we didn't.
Didn't we? I think did we not?
We said it on Facebook, and then we just didn't.
I think we did. I really think we did. I'm gonna say it anyway. It's like about this family of four brothers who
Nazis.
built a village in the woods to protect Jews from the Nazis throughout the whole of war. That's
a sequel, Jews and Nazis.
But like I saw like an interview with the youngest one, and he was quite old. Like I don't know how old. It was like 20 years old, but he was like proper like weird. What?
So we were talking about Defiance. I just like to...
I was just wondering if you'd seen it yet, because I think you should watch it.
I saw it years ago, back when it first came out.
I forgot.
Yeah, I just thought of someone making that sandwich. Could you imagine if the character that actor was famous for was the person they were playing in that film? Like, you got James Bond, Sabretooth, other person.
Yeah.
Fighting the Nazis.
Oh, the little kid
in fact, just James Bond and Sabretooth.
The other dude's in something.
Nazis would be good enough.
I remember googling his actor, like, wondering. He's in something. He's not a great. He's like a main character in some weird thing. I'll look. Okay, I want to bring up these things because okay. We talked about Doctor Who, right? And how it was disappointing.
Oh my god. I can't believe Jack and Dean liked that series.
I know.
It was just like, no.
That's because they obviously weren't fans of like Doctor Who. So, so I think I have a new favourite TV show.
Is it Sherlock?
No, I love Sherlock. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not long enough to warrant it being my favourite show.
Is it the other Defiance?
No, I haven't seen that. The guy who's the other dude, he's in The Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn. He's in Billy Elliot. Is he actually Billy Elliot? As in, maybe, he might be. It was in 2000, so... He actually is Billy Elliot in the movie Billy Elliot. He's famous for that. He's in Jumper and King Kong. Good to know. No. Okay, we'll get on to my new favourite show. Have you seen Dexter? This isn't it, but have you seen Dexter? The TV.
No, I've been hearing some things about
it. It's quite old. 2000. Okay, it's based on the novels.
I know it's old, but I just haven't got round to it. I know the basic plot of it. A serial killer killing serial killers.
Earlier this year, probably before summer, I watched Chuck. No, not Chuck, Dexter. Spoilers for my favourite thing of all time ever. I watched Dexter. Now it had several actors in it. It has okay, I was going to say who it was, but I could not pronounce their name. And it's really bad because she's a great actress, right? Her name's Yvonne Strahovski.
Stratovisky?
Starhovski, right? Strahovski. That's not even her name. That's actually her stage name. Her real name is Yvonne Jacqueline Strzeziechowski. Strzeziechowski. So yeah, she's a great actress, right? And she's in Chuck, in Dexter. She's also in Chuck, hence why I started watching Chuck. Yeah, she's in Dexter, and she's really good in Dexter. Her character's not the best, unfortunately, but she's still a good actress. And I loved Dexter. Like, I watched it all the way through. The season finale, like, people had problems with it, and it wasn't that great. It wasn't as good as the rest of the show. But to be honest, I think I was okay with it. Like, it had to come to an end somehow, so I was kind of just okay with it. I would have liked it more. Spoilers if he died, because he doesn't die.
That reminds me, I need to see the end of Breaking Bad still.
I couldn't get into Breaking Bad. So, really good show, right? And I watched it.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking for another TV show to watch, and I'd just rewatched VGHS, Video in High School by Freddie W. and Isaac Rocket Jump. I shouldn't just say Freddie W. But in season 1 of Video Game High School, there's the video game, the FPS coach, Ace.
Yeah.
Right?
That's really branded GLA, I know.
Ace, he's probably my favourite person. He's like my favourite character in VGHS. Because Ace's number one rule. Yeah, I get it, Ace. Don't be late. No, Ace's number one rule is no Ace's rules, which you would have known if you were here all the time. So, he's played by Zachary Levi. I know how to pronounce that name.
Oh, I thought it was played by Brandon JLA. That was way off.
Who's Entangled, apparently, and Thor the Dark World. But he is also Chuck in the TV series Chuck, right? Now, I knew this at the time of watching BGHF because I'd seen pictures of him playing Chuck. I'd not heard much about Chuck. And I was like, screw it, I'll watch it. And so I'm watching it. It's already really funny. I'm like 5 minutes in. Enter.
Is Chuck your new favourite show?
Enter Yvonne Strahovitsky.
Is it
Strahovitsky? I don't know. It's not Votsky because it has a H-O. Strahovitsky.
No, Strahovski.
Could be. Don't know. It's a stage name. Why didn't she think of a better? I guess like she didn't want to change her name that much, just make it a little bit more pronounceable. But enter her, right? In a really funny scene, right? Just enter her, and I was like, oh, I didn't realise she was in it. It's Thingy from Dexter. And then literally, after that scene, like they talk for a bit, and then Chuck turns around, enter, I don't know his name,
Steve McSteveson.
No, he's Masuka. There we go. His name is
Mufasa.
No, in Dexter, this guy's in it. He's called Vince Masuka, right? In Dexter, it's literally him. It's the same actor. He literally like, oh, it's someone from Dexter. Talk. Turn around. Oh, it's someone from Dexter. and I was like, wait, what? What? Really weird. Like they were just like so like close to each other. And I was like, okay, like literally in 2 minutes, it's two characters from Dexter. Right? And I just started watching Chuck, and that was the first episode. And from then, my God, that TV show is really good. Really good. Like, oh my God. There's...
Tell you what show I want to watch at the minute.
Oh my God. It's like I got to the end of it. I finished it 2 days ago. I watched the final episode, and I sat there, like I've never cried at movies and stuff. I've never cried at movies or TV shows. Right? That made me sad. Like, not overly sad, but I was kind of sad. Half because it was ending, and half because it's kind of quite, you know.
I had that experience with Death Note.
And there was like just it's so funny and such a good, like, the idea of it all is so good, so much so that I would like halfway through watching it, I was like, I want to watch. There best be a movie of this thing because it's really cool idea, right? And it's like 5 series long, and they're all like 50-episode series, and then it's just I should probably stop saying how amazing it is because it's probably not that great. Like it's not as good as I'm making it out to be, but it's still quite good. Like it is currently probably my favourite show since Doctor Who's gone downhill. At least on the top of my head, I think it's my favourite show. There are other good shows, which I might talk about a few of them. Maybe not now, maybe some other time. Like,
so I'll tell you what show I want to watch at the minute then. It's on Netflix, but I just can't.
It is on.
No, I mean the one I want to watch.
Chuck's on
I know Chuck's
Netflix.
on there, but yeah, and Dexter. But this one I want to watch. It's called Reaper, I think.
What? Called what?
Is it Reaper?
Reaper.
It's basically this guy has hippie parents who sell his soul to the devil, and he ends up becoming the Grim Reaper as a result.
Okay, sounds good.
It's a comedy, I think.
Okay. You watch some weird comedy.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Speaking of weird things, right? I was gonna try and like maybe save it, but you just kind of gave me the best segue. Have you seen Black Mirror?
No, it's in my watch list.
Oh, watch it. Because Black Mirror is written by Charlie Brooker. He's an evil genius.
Have you seen his other film?
He's an
Dead Set.
He's an evil genius. Like,
he wrote a zombie thing based around the Big Brother house when it was still on Channel 4 called Dead Set. Have you seen that?
no. Right?
Watch it, it's brilliant. Davina becomes the worst zombie of all.
No. See, it's written by Charlie Brooker. This one isn't a comedy. Right?
That one wasn't a comedy either. It had funny elements, but it wasn't a comedy.
Yeah, this has like some funny elements.
Serious humour.
But
it's normally
most of this is just, it's really like psychologically messed up. Like it is, the whole premise is like kind of it's a kind of satire on the future, the near future. So it's like, imagine technology advances this way. Like there's one episode where people get cameras in their eyes and can rewatch memories.
Oh, it's sort of like the Twilight
Yes,
Zone.
yeah. The loads of people have compared it to the Twilight Zone. It's like a really serious, like,
Any humour shows different scenarios gets compared to the Twilight
psychological satire-y thing, and it's just basically how certain technology screws up people's life. So, for an example, the camera in the eyeglasses, the camera in the eye episode.
Yeah.
The guy just keeps. He goes to this party and meets this guy, who he has an edge to it. Like he's like thinks that.
He thinks.
He has it's like one of them things that is at the back of your head. And he thinks that this random dude he's just met and his wife have a thing, like, or at least had a thing, and then he stays up all night drinking and rewatching every aspect of that night.
Yeah.
And then finally comes to the conclusion that his wife used to go out with this guy, and that possibly his wife cheated on him. And then he goes and drunkenly drives to this guy's house, beats him up, and then relives the memory of him beating up this dude, right? And then realizes that on the TV screen he sees a picture of his wife, and then finds out his kid's not his, and it's actually goes kind of mental. And see, what's messed up is he beats up this dude and gets really angry at his wife and threatens her and stuff, and you think, oh, that's all bad and stuff. But to be honest, loads of people wouldn't you do that if you found out your wife cheated on you and your kid might not be yours? It would go quite mad. So he's only so everyone's like, oh, you're overreacting and stuff. But to be honest, that's what would happen in real life, and that's why the whole Black Mirror TV show is really horrifying. Because there's scenes where you're like, oh my god, this is messed up, and then a part of your brain goes, this could actually happen in a few years. Give it a few years, this will happen. And
it wasn't that long ago. I thought it
no,
would have a chip in their brain by now.
No, you know in your head, there's nothing to stop it. You physically know that you could live to see this horrifying thing happen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but watch the episode White Bear, because it broke me for a day. For a whole day, I kept on, a part of my brain was going, you could live to see that. What would you do to yourself? You wouldn't live to see that. You would kill yourself because it's messed up.
Just talking about it is just making my heart just drop.
Yeah, go watch it. It's really good, but really.
I think the best way to explain Charlie Brooker things is if we use zombie films as a mixture thing.
Yeah.
We film it like liquids and mix them together. It'd be 90% 28 days later.
So yeah, they're my
10% Shaun of the Dead.
They're my TV recommendations. Chuck, Dexter, Black Mirror. Anyway, be right back.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you hear a guitar?
Yeah, I did. I'm back. So yeah, what was I saying? They're my TV recommendations and movie recommendations, all the things I mentioned. Coffee. Hey, I get coffee. But we've been recording for an hour and a half, even though half an hour of that is just us being silent.
Yep.
We can edit it down. You're gonna have to edit it down because I'm not sitting through an hour and a half long episode where most of it's silent. And that's me talking. I sit through a lot of random stuff.
Yeah, we got an extra 10 minutes on top of that as well.
Yeah.
Of broken footage.
Yeah, true.
So do you want to do one more thing to make sure we got an hour of footage?
No, not really, because I want to go because I'm tired and I've got to do some stuff tomorrow, and then I've got to do more stuff tomorrow.
Alright. I was only going to suggest like a test of the improv thing.
Yeah. I'll do it on my tablet. I'll jump off my computer and you can record me on my tablet. Cause
wait a minute.
I'm lazy.
Hold on a minute. Don't tell me it hasn't been recording.
I can't hear you. Sorry, my headphones fell off. Give me what? What were you saying?
So, the recorder closed itself again.
It's still recording. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's in the bottom right still, right?
There's not. Well, I don't really have the bottom right. I have like the top, and it hides away, so I can never tell.
If it's there, it's still recording.
But yeah, I pressed the arrow because I've got a lot of those little mini apps, and it's in the mini app box.
Yeah, it's still recording. It usually still records.
Okay.
Let's hope so.
Hour and a half.
Anyway, let's just sign off anyway, because I want to go, and then we can do a test when I'm upstairs in my bed, half asleep, of the improv.
Whoa. Hold on, I'm just gonna kind of
knock everything over.
My guitar fell over. I'm just gonna lie it down and close it.
So, we talked about a lot of random stuff. I think most of it we've already talked about. Well, at least between me and you, not maybe recorded.
I didn't drink far enough for this episode.
I didn't drink any.
Talking like nuts.
Sad face.
We could have had a drinking game if you just bought something with you.
No. If my tablet quality, mic quality, is good enough, maybe we can do one tomorrow. I'm going with my friends, and I'm not saying there'll be alcohol, but there may or may not be alcohol.
I've got half a jug left of vodka iron brew mixture.
What is wrong with you? Why do you not invite me? I guess we'll call it here. I think we should do a D&D thing at some point, because that's easy to do. Like Roll20 makes it so much easier, and then we just need to record it. So come.
I want to have a go at like an improv session for like Masterson's Inheritance type, like an actual narrative developed through improv.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll do a test. Basically, what I'm gonna do is jump on my computer, go to my room, turn on my tablet, and then we can do it then. When I'm like chilling out in bed, and then I'm gonna go to sleep.
Cool.
But for this Bopcast episode 5 of the 4 that are still actually not hidden away in a file on my desktop.
4 hidden away?
Here you go.
Like
You've been on the trees, huh?
Yeah.
Do you like the trees? I like them.
They're that many gone. I've been eating them non-stop since I got back.
I got some more trees.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess on that note.
So, edit that bit out, because my mum's really bad, right? The amount of times she walks past when I'm talking to someone and just has a conversation with me, right? When it's quite obvious when I'm talking to someone, because I'm just talking at my computer screen. But, you know.
I wouldn't say that's
But then the amount of times I've been watching, for example, watching the TGS podcast on full screen, right? And my mum walks past, and my mum walks past and like waves and says hi, expecting them to be my friends. I mean, I wish they were. That'd be awesome. But no offense, my friends aren't that cool. Actually,
Right,
my friends are cooler.
It's goodbye from me, and bye from Miles. Say bye, Miles.
Bye, Miles. I can't believe you just made me do that.
We didn't have to say Miles. I wasn't telling you to say bye, Miles.
And just that setup is that. What's that from?
Yeah. Pretty much any comedy sketch show from the 1950s.
Pretty much any game show either, as well.
Yep.
Like Pointless.
I almost said that's goodbye from me and goodbye from him.
So yeah. See ya. Go. Leave.
Oh,
What are you still doing?
Thing.
Get out. Leave.
Stop saying things. You're making me forget. God damn you.
The exits are here, here, and here.
Oh yeah. Alright, one more time. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from Miles. Say goodbye, Miles.
I was drinking. See ya.
Say goodbye, Miles.
See ya.
Alright. And not goodbye from Soul Biscuit, you know why? Because this is not the Co-optional Podcast.
Wow, that was awful.
I'm making that a tagline.
Next episode, we'll talk about Dragon Age, because I was going to talk about that, but we talked about too much this episode.
Or will we?
And Just Cause 2.
Or will we?
We will.
Or will we? I mean, we will, but it might get lost.
We will. We will talk about it. Just whether they will hear it. More importantly, we will hear it. Actually, no, saying that, it's on my desktop still, so I can hear it. And no one else in the world can. It's my specific episode. It's my hidden episode. I'm going to release it into the wild when I see fit.
I don't even have it. Oh, no. That's the one where I break people's eardrums as well, whistling.
Oh, yeah, I know. I re-listened to it, like, literally 2 minutes before we started recording this, and it's really bad. It is really bad. I forgot how bad it was.
Is it Don't Hungry, I'm Scared with, like, bleeding from the clock goes...
Pretty much. It is pretty much that. Yeah. So Dragon Age and Just Cause 2, because they're the games I've been playing that I was going to talk about, and then we talked about TVs and movies. See ya.
Yeah. So, that's the end of the podcast. I just want to say something to you, Miles, outside the podcast.
Do it.
Have a look at The Master Son's Inheritance. It's really good 90s comedy. Really good.
I'm going to bed.
Not right now.
I'm going to bed.
Not right now, but yeah.
I know. So let's do it. I'm going to go to my tablet and you can call me and then we can talk.
Yeah. You call me, because I won't know when to call you.
Well, you'll just see me come online again.
Alright.
So, bye.
Bye. You hang up because I've got the screen.
No, you hang up. No, you. God damn it.
Goodbye.
Hello? Hello? Oh my god, this is gonna come out in the recording. I'm gonna have to edit it out. Or I could just talk on my own. Which I'm not gonna do. How you guys been? Audience of me and Leon from the future. Oh my god. I wish I could like record stuff for my future self that would actually be helpful. You from the future, remember to get that toast that you put in the toaster a couple of minutes ago. Don't let it burn. I hear noises. Are they Leon's back noises?
How the hell can you hear noises?
I could just hear like a door shutting and shuffling around.
But my microphone was off.
Apparently it wasn't.
It was. The light was red. That means off.
I'll be right back. My dad just asked if I was talking to him. It could have been totally him shutting a door that I heard. And just as no, it was coming through my right ear only because my headphones are broken.
So I've got a cut between 107 and 113.
You get a bit of me talking about toast in there. I came back, it's like hello, and then kind of rambled about how I'd love to talk to myself in the future about toast. Just gonna leave it like that. Just cut it out. Now it's out of context. Cut it out, and then put it at the beginning or the end of this thing. Chuck, Dexter, Black Mirror. Anyway, be right back. Leon.
Hello?
Hello.
Did you hear the guitar?
Yeah, I did. I'm back. So yeah, what was I saying? They're my TV recommendations and movie recommendations, all the things I mentioned. Coffee.